తమిళనాడు మాజీ సీఎం జయలలిత మరణంపై సందేహాలు వ్యక్తమవుతున్న నేపథ్యంలో ఆమెకు వైద్యం చేసిన డాక్టర్లు అనుమానాలు నివృత్తి చేస్తున్నారు. ప్రస్తుతం డాక్టర్లు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
The family.
Immediate family, or can you name the family?
Family means.
No, not true. She was interacting with her.
Who else was interacting?
I do not know. I do not know most of the people, but
How many people?
Political leaders also came.
So where did they
No.
actually
no. I'll tell you one thing. Sorry?
Political leaders came.
Nobody were allowed.
The reason why we ask, sir, the reason why we ask is since you're saying
Please,
physically
please,
ill,
please,
then how many
please,
people
please.
were allowed?
Please. So, please. I think we're getting the sense of the question you wish to ask, but if we could just lower the temperature a bit, we can try and deal with it.
The Chief Minister herself would be personally asked whether she's interested, because as a road to recovery, when she said, we'll ask such and such a way, would you like to meet? She'll say yes or no. It's only such people we have allowed it.
So what about the time you said for 10 to 20 days she was unconscious?
Yeah. No, she'll say yes or no. She's very clear.
Sir,
Even
Sir, for almost like from what you said earlier, at least 20 days she has been asleep because she was sedated. Where is the question of saying yes or no? Who took the calls then?
see, it's 75 days she was in the hospital.
So I'm going by what you said earlier in answer to an earlier question.
75 days she was in the hospital. Out of that, maybe as you said,
20.
15 to 20 days, yes.
She was on the ventilator. No, the earlier phase, around after September 28th. So
It was an NIV and then you.
So I just remind you of the process again. When someone is put on the ventilator, to begin with, they're put to sleep completely with anesthetic drugs to make that possible. Then they're gradually woken up as much as is possible whilst keeping them comfortable, with some sedation running. Once a tracheostomy is done, then the sedation is withdrawn completely because there's no longer any need. The sedation is really used just for, if there's any painful procedure, to alleviate the distress of a tube through your throat, which, as you can imagine, is uncomfortable. And so when the tracheostomy is done, that's taken away. And sometimes it's used just to make the interaction with the ventilator easier. And as all those things became less of an issue, then the sedation is weaned right down and then removed. But even when sedation is on, it's often on at a very low level that doesn't prevent someone from interacting to some degree.
Dr. Richard, I have a question for you.
I'm going to go over here next, then we'll come back to this side. So the gentleman in the blue shirt with the microphone.
Doctor, thanks. I just want to ask, it's normal procedure for doctors attending on patients in critical care to come out and brief somebody, the closest relative or somebody, on what the situation is. Who were you briefing? What were the updates you were giving them?
So we were briefing Ms. Shashikala on a daily basis, and the government officials, the
Chief Secretary.
Chief Secretary, Health Secretary, Health
Secretaries to the Honorable Chief Minister.
Ministers, and whenever the Deputy Speaker, Mr. Thambidure, was there, we'd had a daily briefing, usually in Chairman's office with the whole team.
Sir, Bala sir. Sir, Balaji sir.
Sir, Babu.
Hello. Sir, Bala sir. Sir, one minute.
I think it's my chance now.
Madam?
Hello.
So
Sir, Bala sir. All in our
So please.
Was there a
Sir, Balaji sir.
idea?
Please.
ஒரு நிமிஷம் சார் ஆளுநர் பார்த்தாரா சார் ஆளுநர் பார்த்தாருங்க
ஆளுநர் அவரை பார்த்தார்.
So listen, folks, please.
Three times வந்தாருங்க ஆளுநர் பார்த்தாருங்க
If we all shout at each other, we won't get anywhere. Now, there was a question in Tamil which Dr. Balaji was going to translate so that we could try and address it.
Sir, I will turn this side. Sir, his question was. Vara sir,
Dr. Richard, your question.
No. Now, I'm really not going to have a conference conducted in this fashion. Please, we will answer everyone's questions, but we're trying to deal with something from everything. So let's just do each other the common courtesy of just taking our turns.
His Excellency the Governor first visited her, and her condition was explained by the chairman and other doctors. The second time when he visited, he went into the ICU and he was able to see her through the glass door and Madam Jayalalithaa showed a thumbs up, and which he also has expressed it, His Excellency the Governor.
But Governor told I can't meet our CM. But Governor told
not aware.
I can't meet our CM. Sir,
Okay, so now I'm going to take the question for the gentleman with the microphone in the blue shirt. You, sir.
the Governor, our Governor told I can't meet our CM. He told as a statement like this like. இந்த மாதிரி நான் கவர்னர் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரு, நான் வந்து முதல்வரை சந்திக்க முடியல அப்படின்னு தானே வெளியே வந்து சொல்லியிருக்காரு. நீங்க இப்ப பார்த்ததா சொல்றீங்க, தம்ஸ் அப் காட்டினதா சொல்றீங்க.
இல்ல சார், அவர் முதல் தடவை வந்தபோது கீழே அவர் சேர்மன் ஆபீஸ்ல he was briefed about it. The second time when he came, you can even clarify with him very clearly. He has even made the statement, you can clarify with the principal secretary to the governor. You can clarify with him. He has very categorically said that he has gone into the ICU and he found her.
சார் முதல்வர் வந்து இன்னும் 2-3 நாள்ல வெளியே வீட்டுக்கு வந்துருவாங்க, சீக்கிரம் வந்துட போறாங்க அப்படின்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. மருத்துவ குழுலாம் சொன்னீங்க, எல்லாரும் செய்தியில சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. ஆனா திடீர்னு அவங்களுக்கு வந்து கண்டினியூ பண்றாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணதுக்கான அந்த கண்டினியூ பண்ணதுக்கான என்ன நடந்தது அதை சொல்லுங்களேன்.
Dr. Babu, what is his question is, you said she is on the road to recovery. Suddenly how cardiac arrest ensued and how she deteriorated.
சாம்பார் சாதம் சாப்பிடுறாங்க, இட்லி சாப்பிடுறாங்க, சாம்பார்லாம் சாப்பிடுறாங்க.
What he said is very true. She was sitting up in the bed, watching TV, eating tayru sadam, all that she did. She was doing physiotherapy, not walking like walking 1 kilometer, getting up from her bed, able to walk few steps. She was very weak, but doing all that. But yes, exactly.
No,
It is true.
Just introduce him, that's all.
I can't give you a date,
Dr.
unfortunately. I
Richard,
don't have
let me
the...
ask my question. I think I waited long enough. Let me ask my question.
All right, so now there's a lady over here who is making the point that I've asked her to be quiet twice, so I'm going to give the question to you, madam.
Sir,
No.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. My name is Rohini. I represent a television channel called NTV.
Please, no, I'm going here. I'll come back to you in a moment.
Dr. Richard
Madam.
and everybody there, my name is Rohini. I represent a channel called India Today. My question is very briefly, can you give us a timeline? I know it's a long time, 75 days, but what exactly happened till the end? Because that's what we'd like to know briefly. Questions have been raised throughout the press conference, but if you can just tell us very briefly, what is the timeline ever since she entered the hospital till the end?
So, I don't know whether I of course wasn't there the whole time. Dr. Babu can give you a high level timeline, which I think he's already done, but we can reiterate those key points as the best of your memory. In all fairness to him, it's quite difficult to remember precise dates for a course like this, but I'm sure he'll do his best.
சார் ஒரே ஒரு கேள்வி, லட்சக்கணக்கான மக்கள்
We're about to hear an answer, sir.
Sir.
No, he's about to speak. Now, please.
So the Honorable Chief Minister got admitted, as I said, on the 22nd night. Yes, 22nd of night. She was in the ICU with a non-invasive ventilator till the 28th or 29th, 6 days. Then she got intubated. After intubation, she had a tracheostomy done about 10 days after the intubation. After tracheostomy was done, she was slowly weaned off the ventilator. So she got moved from the ICU to a room when she was off the ventilator, needing ventilator support only during night when she sleeps. Otherwise, she is always only on oxygen. During sleeping period, we'll put her just to rest. So she, I can't remember exactly when she was moved to the room. She was moved to the room and this was continued and the physiotherapy was enhanced till the day of the cardiac arrest, which is on the 4th. Do not know is the answer. It was a sudden event. It's a sudden cardiac arrest. If as doctors we could tell why everyone is having a sudden cardiac arrest, it will be very simple, but it is not. It was a witness sudden cardiac arrest that happened in the room.
Yes, sir.
One cardiac arrest. She will have one cardiac arrest.
Doctor,
So,
பாலாஜி சார் ஒரு வாரத்தில் மருத்துவமனையிலிருந்து வீட்டுக்கு சென்றிருக்கலாம்.
Doctor here.
Sir.
Doctor.
so please, Do you know how difficult it is to have 20 people shouting at you? Now,
ஆமாங்க
we're going to go to this gentleman in a moment.
பண்ணாங்க ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பண்ணாங்க.
அவங்க ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் இப்போ நீங்க சொல்றீங்க தெரியுங்களா மேடம் கூட வந்து சசிகலா இருந்தாங்களா இல்லையா நாங்க கேட்கும்போது அவங்க ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க நீங்க சொல்றீங்க சார். அவங்க யாரோ வந்திருக்காங்க சார்.
So we'll just translate that question, please, so we know
This
what you
question is, apart from you, apart from the government of Tamil Nadu, apart from Apollo doctors, there were expert opinion from AIMS specialists who had also come, whom you had also interacted. AIMS doctors have given their report to the government of India, and the report concurs with the treatment that has been given by Apollo Hospital.
Doctor, why was her family members Deepa? Sir, Deepa உள்ள என்ன அலோ பண்ணவே இல்ல அப்படினு சொல்றாங்களே.
தெரியாது.
இல்ல அப்ப அவங்க தான உறவினர். இப்ப நீங்க சொல்றீங்க
இது
குடும்பத்துல
beyond medical answer sir. இது personal question இதை நாங்க ஹேண்டில் பண்ண முடியாது சார். இது ஒரு personal question sir.
Doctor.
So, gentlemen,
ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ்
listen,
தெரியலன்னு
I
சொல்றீங்க.
really,
ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் யாரோ வந்திருக்காங்க சார்.
please. Now, we
Medically,
are here to try and help, but really, there's no point in this conversation if you're going to shout at us. Now, as to what was your question, please? One question.
Why was her family member not allowed? Deepa, I mean, she's a blood relative.
So that is not a question I can answer, I'm afraid.
Balaji sir.
Doctor here.
One question, sir.
Doctor here. Doctor here.
The vara sir, vara sir.
Not a question I can answer. Right. Yes, all right, madam. Yes.
Do you have any plan of taking her to London for treatment?
So the issue of transferring to London was discussed at great length and kept under review. Now, the issue of transferring a critically ill patient is always a balanced one because there clearly are risks to transfer, particularly a transfer of that distance. Having said that, you can move nearly anybody if you put enough resource and effort into it. So it's always a risk-benefit. The question is there some particular treatment that can be provided in the place you're going to that is not available in the place you're coming from? The facilities at Apollo are first rate, the team was highly expert, and it was being reinforced with extra opinion, as you've heard. So although we discussed this at considerable length, our shared view was that in that early phase, when she was on the ventilator and unconscious, that the things we were doing were going in the right direction, and that risk-benefit balance did not justify a journey of that length with the risks associated with it. However, we kept it under review. Later, of course, she was awake, and by then it was very clear that she herself did not wish to move. Once she'd woken up and was interacting as we've described, and it was obvious to me, and I'm sure you all know, there is no way we could tell the Honourable Chief Minister what she should or shouldn't do in this regard. So it became a matter of her choice, not ours. But that's how it worked. I'm going to take a question from over here. Gentleman with your hand up, please.
Can you please explain the last moments?
You are not. You are not.
So,
Immediately, it was explained that immediately the protocol was followed. And actually, there is an opinion that it was delayed. The announcement was delayed. By 5:30, television channels began flashing that she was no more. At that point in time, can you please explain what happened?
Basically, he's asking whether she died earlier than the time
Dr. Babu, you're taking it?
Okay, she had a cardiac arrest around about 5 o'clock. As I said, there was medical personnel in the room, so it was a witnessed cardiac arrest. The cardiac CPR was started immediately, and the ECMO team was informed immediately. The on-call cardiologist who is in Apollo Hospital came down within a few minutes. He's on the same floor as that's just above floor.
The room where she's admitted.
Yeah. So CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation was done immediately. It's not like it is a witness cardiac arrest. So CPR went on for about 20 minutes, and we didn't get a heart rhythm. That is when the decision was taken to put her on ECMO. So she was put on ECMO. Once you put a person on ECMO, we have to give them some time, at least 24 hours, to say whether it has worked or not. So that is the time that we gave to see whether the heart will restart or not. And at the end of 24 hours when we reassessed her, there was still no own heartbeat. Only the ECMO machine was working. Then we realized that it was futile to continue care. And this decision was taken in consensus with all the doctors who were treating her, including the All India Institute medical team who had come down the previous day.
On 3rd.
Yes, and it was a collective decision that it is futile to continue therapy. That was then relayed to the government officials, senior government officials, and the family, and then we stopped the ECMO.
Doctor, I have a question for you.
Sir, one question, sir.
Doctor,
Balaji, sir.
So I think I've made it clear that we are going to have some discipline in this meeting. So can we please, we cannot hear the questions if you all shout. So, now.
One question.
Doctor?
சார் அவர் ஒரு சீனியர் டாக்டர், ஒரு கிளாஸ்மேட்டை கூப்பிடுற மாதிரி என் தலையை பார்த்தாவது நீங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும், நாங்கெல்லாம் வயசானவங்கன்னு. அட்லீஸ்ட் இவங்களாவது இளமையா இருக்காங்க. ஏய் ரிச்சர்ட்னா அவர் நம்ம விருந்தினரா வந்திருக்காரு, கொஞ்சம் ஒரு சகோதரருக்கு ஒரு மரியாதை இருக்கணும்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். சொல்லுங்க சார், சொல்லுங்க பிரதர். சார் இனிஷியலா அவங்க ஃபீவர் டீஹைட்ரேஷன் தான் வந்தாங்க சார். அதுக்கு அப்புறம் there was progression of events in her.
சார் இன்னைக்கு வந்து எல்லாரும் மருத்துவ குழு எல்லாம் சந்திக்கிறீங்க. அந்த ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் நடந்தப்போ எந்த டாக்டருமே யாரும் எந்த டீமையும் வந்து என்ன நடக்குது ஏது நடக்குது சொல்லல. இன்னொன்னு லட்சக்கணக்கான மக்கள் அப்போலோ வாசல்லே காத்திருந்தாங்க. கோடிக்கணக்கான மக்கள் என்ன நடக்குதுன்னு தெரியாம இருந்தாங்க. ஆனா அவங்களுக்கு முறையாக இந்த மருத்துவ நிர்வாகமா இருந்தாலும் சரி, மருத்துவ குழுவாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, தமிழக அரசா இருந்தாலும் சரி, முறையாக நீங்க வந்து அதை நடந்துகிட்டீங்களா? அது மாதிரி பல கேள்விகள் இருக்கு. இதுக்கு வந்து நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல போறீங்க? ஒரு விட்னஸே இல்லைன்றீங்க, சிசிடிவி உள்ள வைக்கல அப்படின்னு சொல்றீங்க. நீங்க இந்த பிரஸ் மீட்